AI is kind of taking over everything right now, but can it actually mix a song? Today I want to put ChatGPT to the test. Here's my plan. Since ChatGPT can't listen to audio, I'm going to go in, I'm going to listen to it, I'm going to tell it what it needs, and then it'll tell me what I need to do, and I'm going to listen to it. All right, so here's what I did. I imported all the tracks into my template, and then kind of just leveled everything out. ChatGPT can't hear, so I have to keep everything leveled here. And that's what we're working with. Now, before I go and dive into this, if you're trying to take your mixes to the next level, I have something that I put together called the 14-day mixer. It's meant to help you take a demo sounding track and get it professional with just 14 days. Go ahead and check that out, and let's get back to the video. So here's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna go through, tell ChatGPT what it needs, and yeah, we'll go from there. So as you can see, I told it my idea. It asked for some references, told me to give it what it's lacking or what it needs, told it the DAW I was using, main plugins I'll be using. Here's where we start diving in. So I said, personally, I think the kick is a little clicky, maybe a little boxy, not crazy though. Could use a little saturation and control. So it recommended the SSL native channel strip. So to keep this not a 4-hour video, I'm just gonna do everything on the bus because everything else is kind of leveled already. So high pass around 30, and it wants a low shelf boost, just 1.5 dB, around 60 to 70. We'll call it right in the middle, 65. 2 dB at 3 to 400, so we'll call it 350. And a high mid cut at 2.5 to 3.5, so we'll call it 3. And it wants a tight Q, so I'll tighten that up a little bit. It's not saying do much, we'll do that. And then compressor 4:1, slow attack. It's just fast or slow. I can't control the actual attack, so I'll leave it slow. Then we want to aim for 2 to 4 dB. I'm gonna say that's good. It's consistently getting the 3 range there. Then it wants a distressor, 4:1, attack 5 to 6, 3 to 4 on the release, engage a sidechain filter, and then 3 to 5 dB of gain reduction. And what else? I do think it needs a little extra drive. I don't know why it's calling for revival, but it's saying it. We're gonna listen. All right, that's doing some good. Coffee. Then I said for the snare, it needs a little bit more compression, a little high end boost. All right, so here's a snare. So channel strip again. So high shelf boost, 2 dB. I might try to do this boost, see what it gives me. Okay, I like that. Low cut around 80 hertz. Compressor, 4:1. Slow attack, fast release, and then 3 to 5 of gain reduction. Here we go. Just trying to tickle that 6 there a little bit. What else does it need? An 1176 style compression. Fast attack. This is something I would never do, but it's saying to, so we're gonna do it. 4:1, got it. Fast attack on a snare, that's crazy. Fast release, and then 5 to 7 dB of gain reduction. I had to turn down that room sample, it just brought the room up. Just completely killed my transient there. Pro Q optional for cleanup. I don't think it needs that. Soothe, don't need that. Could throw that on there. Because it's asking for a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this escalator on there. This is a saturation plugin. Yeah, let's give it a benefit of the doubt. Give it the benefit of the doubt there. So is that it for that? Yep. All right, so I'm moving on to the toms. So for that, I said the toms are a little clicky and a little boxy. And then I told it we have 2 racks and a floor tom. So channel strip again. And low mid cut, 3 to 400, 350, medium Q, 3 dB. Call it right there. Don't think it needs that. 3:1 on the compressor. We don't have a medium attack, so we're just gonna keep it slow. Then a medium to fast. We'll call it like right there. 2 to 4 dB. Okay. Anything else? Distressor, 3:1 or 4:1, 6, 4, and then saying 3 to 6. bust your toms together, revival, and SG gray, saying 25%. I think that made it a little too clicky. Let's see what this SG gray does. 2-to-1, slow attack, fast release, and just hick on the compressor. Okay. Just a little bit more. So I didn't think the hi-hat needed anything. That sounds pretty good to me, honestly. Overheads. So listening to that, I said the overheads need cleaned up a little bit. It's a little boxy, too much low end, a little bit of harsh high end, but not much. It wants a channel strip. High pass filter around 150 to 200. We'll call it 175. Ish. Low mid cut for boxiness, 3 to 500. We'll call it 400 and 3 dB. High shelf trim. 2-to-1 ratio. Don't have that. I will do a fast attack though. I'd rather have a fast attack than a slow attack for overheads. Just want to get that going just a little bit. Surgical refinement, and then I will put soothe on there. How's it say to use soothe? Focus range 7K to 14. I am at 1K, so we'll move that up to 7K. Turn that on. And that one's at 14. Call it there. Say like that. Sharpness, low, medium, so somewhere around there. Doesn't say anything about selectivity. I'll just put it in the middle. Mix 60 to 70. Call it 65. Barely doing anything, but we're going with it. All right, rooms. Honestly, I think the rooms sound pretty good. Maybe a little too much high end for my liking. Thought the rooms have too much high end, and it wants a channel strip again. 8 to 10K, so we'll call it 9. 3 to 5 dB. Call it 4. Optional cut, high pass to 40. Low cut if it's boomy, 3 to 400. I will do that. Okay, and that wants soothe as well, which I have already. Call it right there. Depth right around there-ish. Low, medium, mix, call it 65. Anything else for the room? So let me add a little bit of saturation to it. Gives it a little bit of saturation, just like that other thing would do. So it asked about bass. I said, let's finish these drums. I have a shell bus where I send the kick, snare, and toms. Do you want to add anything here? And it said, yes, a secret weapon, blah, blah, blah. So it wants the FG gray here. 4 to 1, low attack, fast release, or auto. I'm going to do fast. Aim for 2 to 3 on snare hits. It's like revival. I think it said like 25% again. Just said add the thick. I might skip that because I don't feel like the toms are dull. And I might skip this as well because there's a crush bus. And I did tell it what plugin I'm using because I didn't mention it before in the video. So it wants a mild or warm. I'm assuming it's screwing it up with that. We'll keep it moderate. Punch set around 50 to 70. I'm assuming it means this. Call it like 6. I don't think it's doing it right, but we'll go with it. And we want 8 to 12 dB of gain reduction. Oh, it wants a warm character. I think I need to turn my snare up a little bit. And now we're just going to bring this crush bus into the mix. I definitely brought some life to the snare. I still think my kick's a little loud though. Okay, then I said anything on the drum bus. Then saying SSL bus comp or the FG gray. Let's go down to the drum bus, which I already have this bus comp on there. Ratio 2 to 1, attack 30, release auto. Okay, literally what I have on there. Okay, and then it says only like 1 to 2 on peaks. Tightening everything together is exactly how I use it. Interesting. I don't think I need any of that, if I'm being honest. I have some saturation on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip that. And then, all right, so the bass. The way I do my bass, I split it into 2. I have this bass amp track and this bass sub track. Let's see how ChatGPT handles it. So I said, okay, bass. I have a bass track and a sub track. Or I have a bass amp track and a bass sub track. Perfect setup. A bass amp gives tones control. Ground grip from the amp. Clean focus sub. All right, see what it does. So, all right, low pass filter to 120, we'll call it. High pass filter up to 30. And then it wants an LA2A compressor. Interesting. Okay, 3 to 5. Set it and forget it. Exactly where it is. Hell yeah. Screw that. And then, all right, the amp track. Let's see what it says for me to do for the amp track. High pass to 100. Notch around 8 to 1K if it's nasally. I don't think so. Low mid cut. Yeah, I was going to say do that. Oh, it wants it way up here. Oh, only 2 dB. And distressor, 4 to 1, fast attack, medium fast release, and then 5 to 7. Okay, combine the bus and the bass. Channel strip, weird. It wants it, I'll do it. On the bass bus, we want a low shelf if it's lacking body. Don't think so. High mid boost for some presence. I do think it needs that. That. We already did that, so 3 to 1 on the compressor. Slow-ish, fast. Okay. Cool. So I asked it, do you want to side chain anything with the bass? Side chaining is absolutely worth doing only when it serves a purpose. For your Thornhill style mix, we want a tight cinematic low end, huh? Where the kick punches through cleanly, but the bass still feels huge and steady, not ducking awkwardly. So let's go ahead and do that. It wants between 50 and 100. Okay. I personally would take it higher, but we're listening to ChatGPT. Okay, we did that. On to the next. Have these ambient, crunchy, clean guitar things. Personally, I think they need some low end cleaned up. So it wants a channel strip on each track individually. High pass filter, 80 to, there it is. We'll go higher. Sold that one since we're working on that one. Low mid cut, around 250 to 400, about like 350-ish. Present notch, I don't think it needs that. It does need some high end, so we'll go with that. Compression, it wants an 1176. 4 to 1, got it. Medium attack, fast release, 3 to 4 dB of gain reduction. So it's good right there. So now let me copy these over to that guy and that guy, see how they sound together. Definitely sounds better. I'll give him that. I don't think it needs that. We already have a reverb built in. It asks if I have any rhythm guitars in the chorus. I have these two. So I said I have a normal rhythm guitar, then a really low octave underneath it. So each guitar individually. So it's a channel strip, which we already have. High pass filter to 80, low mid cut, call it right there. 3, call it right there. Definitely think it needs a presence boost. Call it like 2K, 2 dB, top end shelf, 8 to 10, then 1 to 2 there. 4 to 1, medium fast. We don't have that option. I guess we'll go fast and then release medium. And then it wants 3 to 5 to control chugs and keep it glued. Yeah, something like that. And I will just copy this, go into this guy, and then paste it. Definitely cleaned it up. Then for the low octave guitar, it wants me to use Pro Q. We'll go 50. Yeah, because it says that too. I think got confused there. Then it wants a distressor. 3 to 1, slow-ish, call it there. Release medium. And then 4 to 6 for solid control. Okay, right where I'm at, sick. Love that. I think they need to lower in the mix, so I'm gonna keep it there anyway. Then the guitars together, make sure they're good to go. Hell yeah. It wants to go bus to group. Don't think it needs that. And then FG gray again. That's what I'm going to do here. 2 to 1, low attack, release auto. Just a tiny bit. Okay, post-production stuff. I didn't tell it about any of the post-production, so I'm going to go ahead and do that for it. Wants me to sidechain it. Okay, cool. Got it ready to go anyway. Done. Lastly, a lead. It already has the effects on it. Probably not going to compress it since it's already like baked in. When you compress reverb, it can get kind of weird. So let's go to the leads. Pro Q, around 100 hertz. And 8 to 10K, I'm just going to go ahead and, because it wants a shelf boost. It says 1 to 2, so I'm gonna keep it at 2. I don't think it needs compression, like I said. Don't think I need soothe. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this over to this one. So I'm not worrying about any of the vocals for this though. Got tape machine going, give it a bus compressor. And then bring this clipper up. I'm just giving it like a quick master. Now that we're up and we got some volume going, okay, so here are the final mixes. And then Spotify. I like things about both of them. I like the symbols in this in the AI mix. Like the low end, the kick, the low end of the guitars is way more locked in my mix. I definitely like my snare better. It didn't do a bad job at all. There's definitely some stuff missing from the AI mix. Obviously, it didn't do the whole thing because I was using my ears to adjust some stuff as far as like levels and stuff like that go. As far as when I said it was missing or needed something, it did a good job of doing that. So there's some mess ups in there. Overall, it did pretty good. I told it the plugins I was using, it gave me the proper plugins to do everything. I honestly didn't think it would do this good. So yeah, this is actually pretty crazy. Kind of glad I did this. It's funny. I think if the AI could hear, it definitely would do a lot better. But let me know in the comments which mix that you guys think was better. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.